Hey guys, it's Charity. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing everything you need to know before traveling to South Korea. I just spent 3 weeks there and there were so many things I discovered that completely changed how I experienced the country. Knowing these tips will help you have an amazing and stress-free trip. First thing first, fill out your immigration card online before you go. This is now only available starting 3 days prior to your arrival, and this is incredibly easy to do. You can even fill it out for your entire group on their behalf, which saves so much time at the airport. Trust me, you will breeze through immigration while others still filling out their paper forms. Number 2 are all the apps that will save your trip. Your phone becomes your lifeline in Korea, and choosing the right apps makes all the difference. Most travel guides will tell you to download Kakao Maps. Why it's decent? I actually live on Naver Maps the entire time I was there. The transit information on Naver is actually incredibly detailed. It tells you which subway car to get on, which exit to use, and even how long the walk is from the train station to the destination. On this app, you can find every single piece of information about services like hair salons, restaurant, beauty clinics, etc, etc. But they are all in Korean, obviously. Google Maps here was honestly pretty useless, which caught me off guard. I kept trying to use it out of habit and getting completely lost. For translation, forget about Google Translate and download Papago instead. It's made by Naver specifically for Korean, and the difference is night and day. Google Translate would give me those awkward robotic translation, while Papago actually understood the context and cultural nuances. Next one, we have Kakao Talk. This one is actually really essential if you want to connect with locals or make friends. It's like WhatsApp, but literally everyone in Korea uses it. I met this group of Korean college students at a cafe in Gangnam, and they immediately asked for my Kakao Talk instead of my phone number. And for transportation, everyone talks about Kakao Taxi, but honestly, Uber ended up being my go-to choice. The thing about Uber in Korea is that it's incredibly cheap and convenient for any distance. But you need to be very smart about locating yourself exactly, knowing what street you are on, because if you even just slightly off, the driver might end up on a completely different street, which creates frustration for both sides. The app works perfectly and you can pay through it without any language barriers. You can also pay by cash or T-Money card, which I will talk about later. But precise location is key to a smooth experience. The train and buses here are really good, but I highly recommend you guys to use Uber more often, unless it's a rainy day and you want to cross the bridge from this to this side, and there might be some traffic, so you could avoid that. Cash table was my secret weapon for restaurant. Instead of standing in those crazy long lines at popular spots, you can reserve your place virtually and go explore while you wait. I honestly didn't use it much because if you know me, you would know that I rarely check out hot TikTok or Instagram places, since most of the time they are overhyped and I didn't want to waste my travel time just queuing. And before we continue, if you are finding this helpful, please hit the subscribe button and turn on notification. It really helps the channel grow and lets me create more practical travel content like this. Okay, number 3, we're talking about getting connected by using the local phone number. I usually travel with Airalo eSIMs because they are so convenient, and I use them almost everywhere I travel. If you are thinking of using them, you can use my code down below in the description to sign up for a $5 gift in your account. However, Airalo Korean packages had these weird coverage gaps that didn't really match my trip length, so I decided to go directly with LGU Plus instead. The thing I wish I did differently was getting an actual Korean phone number with my data plan. You need a local number for almost anything and everything in Korea. Food delivery apps won't work without one, booking appointments requires it, and even making restaurant reservation often needs a Korean number for confirmation. I learned this the hard way when I tried to order delivery to my hotel in Hongdae. I had downloaded all these food delivery apps, but every single one required phone number verification with a Korean number. So needless to say, I wasn't able to do any of that. Luckily, the hotel I stay at had latte chicken downstairs, and I love it a bit too much. I ordered every single night during my stay. The Wi-Fi situation is actually amazing though. Coffee shop, restaurants, subway station, department stores, everywhere you go, you will have free Wi-Fi, but having your own data means you never have to hunt for a connection when you're trying to navigate the street or you're trying to translate something on the spot. Our next one is pretty important. Airport to the city, the budget-friendly way. So to get into the city from the airport and back, you can skip those expensive express train options and take the regular airport buses instead. They are clean, comfortable, run frequently, and cost a fraction of the price. When I landed at Incheon Airport, I was tempted by the RX because it looked faster on paper, but the bus ended up being perfect. You just follow the signs to the bus terminal area. Use those digital ticket machines to figure out which route stops closest to your accommodation. Then look for your bus number on the display boards. You don't even need to speak to anyone. Just find the ticket machine and work it out yourself. It's very easy. Here's something to know about the Korean bus culture. Everything moves fast. When your bus pulls up, people board quickly and efficiently. The drivers will help load your luggage in the storage compartments. But don't forget to grab your stuff when you get off. I almost left one of my suitcases on the bus because I was so tired from the flight. The whole trip from Incheon Airport to Central Seoul cost me around 15,000 won, which is around 12 bucks. If you take a taxi, it could cost 60 to 100,000 won depending on your location. And a friendly reminder, because this is what happened to me, is that when you just landed and get hungry, you'll find yourself in the airport food court, but don't jump straight into any food that looks red. You might just regret it. Give yourself some time to get used to the spice level. Next one is really important, transportation cards and payment. You absolutely need a transportation card in Korea called T-Money card, and there are just too many of them to choose from with all kinds of perks and design. I went on this quest to find one of those adorable cinnamon roll keychain version, and it took me to like 6 different subway stations before I finally found one. But it was totally worth it. It's around 17,000 won for something functional and cute. But the reality check is that you can only top up these T-Money cards with Korean cash or Korean bank cards at most machines in the station. Foreign cards just don't work, and when you do find machines that accept them, like those I find in the convenience stores, they charge around 5% in fees, which is around the same amount that they would charge you if you withdraw cash from an ATM. Also, download this app if you want to check the balance of your T-Money card. It's really easy to use. When you are using any card reader in Korea, whether it's for transportation, shopping, or dining, always choose to pay in Korean won instead of your home currency. The conversion rates are much better that way, but make sure you check with your bank so you know. Honestly, at the end of the day, I feel like I loaded way too much money on this T-Money card initially because I didn't realize how affordable Uber would be. So yeah, definitely check out Uber app and use it more often. I'm gonna leave a checklist involved of all the app recommendation, money tips, and recommendation places, and many more in South Korea ultimate checklist in the description down below, so make sure you check it out. ATM in Korea can be really unpredictable with foreign cards. Some work perfectly, others reject your card for mysterious reason. It happens to me frequently. I learned to withdraw a larger amount whenever I found a machine that cooperated with my bank card, rather than trying to make small withdrawals constantly, because finding an ATM machine that works seems like a hassle for me. Most places accept cards now, especially in tourist areas and shopping districts, but you still need cash for traditional markets, street food vendors, and some smaller local restaurants. I show up at Gwangjang Market for one evening with only my credit card and felt pretty silly watching everyone else enjoy amazing street food while I hunted for an ATM. Now let me break down what you can expect to spend for 2 people over 2 to 3 weeks. And this is based on a medium budget. You can definitely do it cheaper by staying at Airbnb, hostels, motel, and eating convenience store food and street food, food from the market. But you also have room to splurge in certain categories. The transportation is $1,300 for international flights from Australia, plus $300 to $400 if you plan to go for internal flights to, say, Jeju Island, and $200 two ways for K-ETA express train to Busan and back to Seoul. General prices ranges around $1,500 to $2,000 per person. Accommodation is also varied, but we stay at 4 to 5-star hotel for good location during our trip. So if accounting for all accommodation, you can expect around $3,000 in total. Food is around $500. Food isn't that expensive in South Korea. You can easily live on supermarket food or street food for a week, paying a minimum amount. Food gets pricey when you start going to sit-at restaurant every single day. Sightseeing is around $300 plus $160 for the hanbok rental experience. This was the least expensive category as many sites around Korea are free or really cheap to visit. For car rental around 5 days, it would be around $500 if you want to rent it around that amount of time. Regarding tax refund, the tax refund system in South Korea is genuinely confusing. You've got instant tax refund at stores like Young, where they process it right at checkout. There are also global blue kiosks scattered around major shopping area where you scan your receipt, or you can handle everything at the airport before you leave, but the lines can be pretty long. Not to mention, if you purchase your items at tax-free duty store like at Lotte shopping mall, they won't give it to you right away, so you have to pay first, and then they give you a receipt with the gate number. On the day that you depart, you go to that gate and collect your items. But the thing is, the queue can be pretty long, so make sure you have some spare time before all that to, either do tax refund or collect your items. If you are planning to visit other cities, the K-ETA high-speed rail system is incredible. But you really want to book tickets online before you go. The ticket machines at the stations don't accept foreign cards or cash, so you end up waiting in the long queue at the staff counters, and popular routes sell out very quickly. I splurged about 30,000 won extra for first class on my trip to Busan, and it was absolutely worth it. You get dedicated luggage space, much quieter cars, and significantly more legroom and snack. On a 2.5 hours journey, that upgrade made all the difference in comfort. And if you're doing multiple cities, Seoul Station has luggage storage services for around 20,000 won per day per big item. I store my large suitcase there and just travel with a small backpack for my Busan trip. This also made navigating the trains and exploring the city so much easier. The K-ETA station also have these amazing food courts and convenience stores where you can grab snacks for the journey. Korean convenience store food is legitimately delicious. Don't sleep on those triangle kimbap rolls and the banana milk. There's also this hack that I want to share. Grab a cup of ice and any pack of soft drink with the flavor that you like and combine them. This way, it will be the perfect and cheap drink during summertime. 앞치마 주세요. Now let's talk about Korean restaurant culture. Korean restaurants operate at a completely different pace than what you might be used to. Servers appreciate it when you know what you want and don't spend forever studying the menu. Many places now have the tablet ordering system where you just tap what you want, no language barrier stress involved, and sometimes you can pay with your foreign card right there at the table. And when you're done, never sit and wait for someone to bring you the bill. When you finish eating, you just get up and pay at the counter near the entrance. There's no tipping culture, and don't linger at your table because they need to seat the next customer. About the spice levels, don't go crazy on your first day. Korean food can be incredibly spicy and intense, and your stomach might need some time to adjust. Learn to ask, is it spicy in Korean? If you can't really eat spicy food, This saved me several times, especially with those kimchi jjigae that look innocent but pack serious heat. Side dishes like banchan are typically refilled for free, but you have to ask. Don't be shy about requesting more of those pickled vegetable or kimchi if you are enjoying them. Here's something most people don't know about Korean airports. Both Incheon and Gimpo offer comprehensive luggage packing and shipping services. If you go shopping crazy like I did, these services can save you from expensive overweight baggage fees. You can find several providers at the airports. I use one of those services to ship a box of Korean skincare and snack back home, and they pack everything professionally in a proper shipping box. They handle all the custom paperwork, and the rates were actually very reasonable compared to airline overweight fees. Now I got to mention, a lot of the viral stuff you see on social media is honestly just okay. Those Instagram famous bakeries, trendy street foods, and TikTok famous snacks are fine, but they often overhype. That said, some things absolutely live up to the hype, which is the Korean fried chicken. They are genuinely incredible. The skincare at Olive Young is amazing quality for the price, and Korean hairstylists really are exceptional at those layer cuts everyone wants. Plus, they are much more affordable than similar services in other countries. Just bear in mind that Olive Young does international shipping with free delivery over $60. Instead of cramming beauty products in your suitcase, you can order them to be shipped home. I wish I had known this earlier because I spent so much effort trying to fit everything in my luggage and trying to go to as many stores to find the exact items I wanted when I could have easily searched on the app in like a second. But I guess I made it part of the experience, so no complaining here. Other than the popular clothing stores, I would highly recommend you guys checking out the new house at Myeongdong, where they sell all kinds of stuff from clothing to handbags to charms, etc. etc. It's a very cheap price. And if you want to know more of Korean must-have items in 2025, check out this video right here where I talk about them in depth. By now, you must know that Korean cities are designed differently than what you might expect. Cars and pedestrians share space more intimately, and drivers here can be quite aggressive. Traffic lights don't always give pedestrians as much time as you expect, so stay alert when crossing the street. I noticed this especially in areas like Hongdae and Itaewon, where the streets are narrow and there's a lot of foot traffic mixed with delivery scooters and taxis. Just stay aware of your surroundings and don't assume that you have the right of way just because you're on foot. Here's something that caught me off guard. There are virtually no public trash cans on the street. You'll be carrying them until you find a convenience store or a restaurant or bring your trash back to your hotel. And they take recycling very seriously, so make sure you are sorting things correctly. Unfortunately, there are people who target tourists for called recruitment activities. If random strangers approach you being overly friendly, wanting to practice English or bringing up religious topic, just politely keep walking. It happened to me twice near universities, and while the people seemed nice, it's better to be cautious and just keep walking. Korean weather is incredibly unpredictable. It can be hot and humid in the morning, pour rain in the afternoon, and then get surprisingly cool by the evening, or might say cold. I check weather apps obsessively and learned to dress in layers so I could add or remove throughout the day. Most hotels and guest houses will lend you umbrellas, and buildings have designated areas at the entrance where you can clean and dry them off. So don't be embarrassed to use those because everybody else does it. Here is a timing tip that took me a few days to figure out. Korean cafe culture doesn't really get going until after lunch, around 1 to 2 p.m. If you are planning to work from a cafe or meet people for coffee in the morning, make sure you know a place that caters to early risers because many local spots don't open until later. There's one culture detail that I was made aware when I got there is that smoking is more common and happens in more places than you might expect. You will encounter cigarette smoke near restaurant entrances, in some outdoor seating areas, and around office buildings. It's not necessarily a problem, just something to be prepared for. Also, the restaurant staff might seem a bit rushed or impatient if you appear confused or can't communicate effectively in Korean. It's not personal. They're trying to maintain efficiency during busy periods, so don't take it to heart. And don't be afraid to use translation apps or gesture to communicate. And my final practical tips for this video is that Korean convenience stores are absolutely incredible. They are everywhere, open 24/7, and sell everything from hot meals to phone charger to cosmetics. The food is legitimately delicious. Those triangle kimbap roll, Korean style hot dogs, and various flavor meals become daily staples for me. I would also highly recommend you guys eating from food courts in shopping malls and checking out produce stores like the ones in Lotte shopping mall for all amazing food for so cheap. Public restrooms here are generally very clean and well maintained. Many have high-tech toilets with heated seats and various functions, so don't be intimidated by all those buttons. The basic flush function is usually very clearly marked. So yes, these are many cultural experiences I highly recommend you try it out. I will list them in the checklist, and I'll have 2 videos about jjimjilbang shower houses and hanbok experiences right here, so check them out. So there you have it, everything I wish I had known before my first trip to South Korea. These aren't just usual tourist guide recommendations, but the practical stuff that actually made a difference when I was there. South Korea is an incredible country with amazing food and fascinating culture. Yes, there's a learning curve, but that's all part of what makes it such a rewarding travel experience. And don't forget to grab that complete checklist I mentioned earlier. It's got all of my app recommendation, money tips, packing suggestion, and many more organized in one place. You can find it in the description down below. And if this video helped you plan your trip, hit that subscribe button and turn on notification. I share practical travel content like this regularly, plus lifestyle tips that actually make a difference in how you experience your life and new places. Let me know in the comments which tips surprised you the most, or if you have any specific question about traveling to South Korea. I love hearing from you, and your question often inspire future videos. So have an amazing trip, and I'll see you in the next one.